Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Good morning. How are you doing? Join me now. I put it on my community that I'll be out by 10. Let us discuss this interesting topic. Let us discuss it. Let us dissect it. Good morning, everyone. I'll just wait a couple minutes for people to come around. Then we'll start off today's discussion. Okay. All right. So let us start. Okay. I put it on my community that there's this topic you would have heard of. So many people discussed it. They've talked about it. You see where they say that, especially for immigrants, okay, where they said that the UK is a big trap. That you see, once immigrants come into this country, they find it difficult to leave because all what they set to achieve as their goal, it has not yet been achieved. So they can't go back to wherever they came from. So let us discuss this topic extensively. Let us talk about it. So if you are planning to come to relocate to the UK or wherever country you wish to relocate to, okay, you are wishing to relocate to wherever, there are so many things that you have to put into consideration. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. There's so many things you have to plan for. Proper planning is very, very vital. It's very, very essential. Okay, if you are planning to relocate, you have to put the number one thing you need, which is an important factor, very vital, very essential, is proper planning. Failure to plan means that journey is gonna be you already failed on that journey. Okay, may we not fail in our journey of life. Amen. So proper planning. Thank you for the love. Thank you, I really appreciate that. So proper planning is very, very vital. You have to know the country you are going to and set realistic goals. Realistic goal is very, very important. So for some people, before they leave their home country, they say, oh, once I get to the UK, take for instance, within 5 years, I already achieve my goals. Then I'll be going back to my country. I'll be retiring back to my country within 5 years. And in the real sense of it, in the actual sense of it, 5 years is not realistic. I'm going to tell you why. Because once, so many people have this belief that, oh, once I just set my feet in that country, oh, I would be doing this and that. I'm gonna pick as many shifts as I can, work and make money. I already have this certain amount of money I'm aiming at within 5 years. Then I'm going back to my country, to start a new life, enjoy my life and all of that. Okay. And in the real sense of it, you see that that goal is not realistic. No, it's not realistic. So once they are spending more than their expected time in that country, they feel trapped. They feel, oh, are they not making progress? No, you are making progress because you are not only the one on that page, or you are not only the one that is experiencing that kind of situation. So you are making progress. It's just that goal you set for yourself is not just realistic. You know what I mean now? It's not just realistic. So proper planning important, setting realistic goals also very, very important. So I'm going to talk about people living in the UK, immigrants living in the UK, why they feel trapped. Okay, because when they were living, just as I've said, they had so many things in mind. You know, they feel, oh, within this certain period of time I should be able to make this and this, then I go back to my country and start enjoying my money. And once they don't see that being they don't see it visible, you know, they feel like they're not making progress. They feel, oh, they're trapped because they don't want to go back empty handed. Okay, so I want us to prepare our minds. If you are a new immigrant, you know, or you are planning to come into a new country, or into the UK, this video is for you. Okay, so let me formally introduce myself. If you are coming across this face for the very first time, thank you for stopping by. My name is Bola, and I'm a wife, a mother of two beautiful children, and I live in the UK. So I'm a fashion designer, and I'm also I also work. Okay. So thank you for stopping by. I've said that. So thank you for leaving me love and like. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so let us go into today's topic. Why do, you know, immigrants feel trapped in UK? Please, I got a table fan today because I saw that the noise was all over in my video. So if you can still hear this noise, kindly excuse it. It's a table fan, okay? It's a fan, and the weather is hot now. I need to keep myself cool, okay? So excuse the noise in the background. I've always said that. So it's a fan that is moving. Number one, when you come into the country, the first thing you want to achieve is how you get settled in that country. You understand what I mean? How you get settled. You will be looking for, you know, there's so many ways you can relocate into a country, and first, there's so many routes people migrating to the UK. Maybe you can come on a care work visa, you can come on student visa, you can come on skilled worker visa, you can come on the spouse visa. So different routes at which you can relocate to the UK. So different routes with different kind of experiences. It might be easy for a particular kind of route, and some other kind of route might be difficult. Okay, if you relocated, if you migrated to the UK, if you come into the UK on a spousal route, you know, your partner is already settled, and you just came to join your partner, you know, you're coming as a partner or a spouse of a settled person, you will find it much more easier. Okay, because you know it's going to be easier than other kind of route you are coming in for. Okay, my own view, you can prove me wrong, I might be wrong, but I feel that if you're coming on a particular kind of visa, is going to be easier than any other kind of visa. Just as I've said, that if you're coming on a spousal route, is you coming in to join your partner that is settled, it will be easier for you. You know, their experiences, when people are saying they're finding it difficult, you might not find it difficult because your partner is settled. Okay, that's what I mean. Okay, so once you come into the country, probably for work, maybe you came in as a student. Let me use that as an example. You came in as a student, you know, the first thing is you want to look for how you will get settled after your school. What else can you do? You want to change your visa route. You want to, you know, you just want to settle, okay? Or you came in on a work visa. After the first, I think the first the visa, you'll be having 2.5 for the first time. You be after the before the end of the 2.5 years, you want to work, and this visa fee is no small money. The visa fee is no small money, okay? So you want to work, especially if you are not alone, you came with your family and you have a dependent as well. Probably we are looking at 5 people to reapply again for visa extension. This money is no small money. So number one, that one is a big trap on its own, because you want to keep extending your visa till you get settled. You want to keep extending and extending till you get settled. After your first 2.5 years, of course, we want to live in that country as a settled person, or as at least your visa is still you don't want to live in the country as an illegal person, okay? So you keep working to extend your visa. You keep extending, and this visa fee, believe you me, it's no small money. So people get trapped. That's number one trap. You just want to work and get settled. That is the primary aim. Like, let me get settled first, then we deal with every other kind of issues later. So the first trap is you getting your settlements. That is the first trap, because we know what the visa fee is talking about, the amount of money that you have to cover out from your purse to do your visa extension. Okay, I think you first do first 2.5, then the second 2.5, depending on your kind of route anyway. So that one is, you're already trapped, because you will be working coupled with every other bills that you have to pay. At the end of the day, you will see that you don't have any savings, okay? Because if you're working, you are paying for rent. If you are still renting, you pay for house rents, and renting is no small money. You pay every month for rent here. You pay for house rent, you pay for water bill, you pay for utility, you pay for TV license, you pay for any kind of bills that you're meant to pay. So after deducting of all the bills, the tax man is also there collecting its own share from the amount you've worked for. At the end of the day, they take home what is left for you to do grocery and all of that. It's just small. Then you have to put some money aside for your visa extension, because at the end of that first visa, you want to extend. Okay, so that is a big number one trap, because of course you would not want to stay in the country and you're not thinking of how you will get settled. So the first trap immigrants feel, is settlement. That is the first trap, because they just want to get settled. Okay, after settlement, then we move on to the next. Okay, so immigrants feel so trapped getting settled in the UK. So that is the number one trap. Okay, so number two trap is family. I'll tell you what I mean. Probably you came in as a single person, or you came in with your husband as a young couple. You've not had children, or you have just one. If you have, and when you got into the country, of course, you want to make babies. Okay, you want to make babies. Maybe before the baby arrived, it was just you and your husband. You're living in just a room, a flat, just a room, bedroom flat. Okay, that's okay for you, because there are no kids yet. So once you start making that babies, is another trap. How do I mean? Because that child no longer belongs to you. You're having the children you now have belongs to the government. And here, they don't take lightly kids. Anything that's got to do with children is not taken with levity, is not taken lightly. So at every point in time, before a child clocks the age of 18, and adult has to be with that child at every point in time. So number two trap is probably you are the type that you've been working, your partner has been working, and everybody's fine. You go your way, the husband goes his way, then you come in. Once you get pregnant, you might stop work at some point. I've seen super women that they work to the last day, till they have their baby. But if you are that superwoman, good. But once that baby arrive, you have to go on mat leave. Okay, you go on mat leave, and you might stay 8 months, or if you want it, a year, before you resume work. You have to make arrangements, at each point in time. Now the planning now is not on two people. Now the planning is on three: yourself, your partner, and the newborn baby and the child. So who is staying back with the baby at home? Or you know at some point you have to be available. Okay, so if you've been the type that have been working before, you've been working, you just feel like you just suddenly discover that you can no longer work again, because you have to be with your baby. And you know what that means? No money for you. And of course, if you're on a student visa or a work visa, you are not eligible for public funds. You don't have access to public funds. It's written on your visa, so you can't apply for public funds. And you have to you will discover that just sort of thing, you can't work, you have to stay with your child. And if you say you want to do childminder, when you calculate it, the amount of money you'll be paying a childminder, just stay with your baby. Because at the end of the day, even if you're going to have anything less, it should just look as if you are working to give the childminder. You know what I mean. So that is another trap on its own. Raising children here, you have to be, you just have to give it your 100%. Raising children here. Otherwise, if a child goes to school and they discover any kind of any mark on that child, or the child complains about neglect or whatsoever, and you are being invited into the school to come and maybe the child is coming late, the child goes to school late, the child doesn't have breakfast at home, the child is sleeping in class, all these things, the school now monitors the child. And if you are being invited the first time, the second, before you know it, they will call in the social worker. And I know you don't want to be on that list. God forbid that child might be taken off that person, because they see that the parents they see neglect, no proper taking caring for the child and all of that. So that is why parents, we solely dedicate our full time, if when we still got young kids that are not even up to 18, you don't want to, at that time, you want to be available in the lives of those kids. You want to be present, because any little mistake, anything, if you think you can just do anything and get away with, no, you can't. With kids, you can't. In school, they will take notes. If they notice maybe the child is going to school dirty, the child doesn't look well taken care of, before you know it, the social worker will come knocking on your door, and they might take that kid away from you. Okay, so I've seen a couple of people, I've heard a couple of stories of kids taking off their parents. And funny thing is, these kids, if they find where they are, if you're enjoying where they are, they will say that they don't want to go back, or they don't want to go back home, they don't want to see their parents. So you have to be committed in raising a child here. So it's another trap. So that's, I want to work, I want to do, for 4 days shift, 5, you can no longer do that with kids. Okay, except you are bringing your parents, you have an adult to stay with that child. Yeah, so this is the second trap parents go through, immigrants go through in UK. I've talked about the trap of getting settled, spending so much money on visas until you get your high LR. So once you get your high LR, you know that you finally escape. Okay, you know, when you get your high LR. So you, but until you get that high LR, you will keep renewing your visa, you keep renewing your visa, and the amount of money you spend on that visa is no small money. Okay, so the number two trap is raising a family until your child is 18. That is when you can do, you know, but if you've still got little children, you've still got little kids, trust me, it's going to affect your work, unless you want to do work from home. I've seen people who do work from home, or you know, you want to be self-employed, you want to run your business. Probably, as I am a tailor, I work from home. Okay, so you want to do work from home jobs, or you just want to pick maybe few hours shift while the kids are in school. You just want to do like 5 hours shift, then come back before the children are closes from school to pick them up, because the school pay attention to every details of dropping off, picking up, every details. The school take attend, they take note of it. Okay, they take note of it. You cannot just say, oh, please help me drop my kid. No, 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 it doesn't work here. You have to drop your kids by yourself, or you get a registered minder that does that for you. Picking up as well, you cannot be late in picking up your kids. You know, you can't say, oh, you'll be late in picking up your kids. These are the things they watch out for. You can't be late in dropping off your kids. It's not good for the child to go to school late. So once you start getting an invite from the school regarding your kids, you need to know that it's time for you to sit right. You have to sit right. So kids here belongs to the government, and they don't joke with kids. Okay, so that is the number two trap. Kids. Once you still have younger children, trust me, you can't work the way you would like to. All right. So once you have younger kids, just know it, and you will just know that the way you used to work before the children came in, before you start having kids, you can no longer do that. So that is the number two trap we're talking about. Okay, number three trap now is, as your family increases, you know, you now have, let's say before it was just yourself and your husband, you're living in bedroom flats. As the family increases, you now have two, three children. You will want to look for a bigger apartment, a bigger flat. And trust me, cost of renting, or even if you say you want to do mortgage, you know, you have to save at least 10%, 15% of the mortgage fee, the cost of the mortgage. Okay, or even if you want to rent, okay, cost of renting is no joke. It's no joke. You know, it will eat into your pockets. If you want to get, like, you want to, okay, your family is increasing, you now have three kids, you want to leave that bedroom apartment to two-bedroom flats, okay, or three-bedroom flats. You know, if you've been paying 800 before, just look at it like you'll be paying like 8,002 or 8,000. I'm just saying, for instance. Okay, I doubt it if you still see a flat of 800, depending on the location anyway. But if you live in London, trust me, it will take the grace of God. You have to pray hard before you can get. I'm just using that as an example. You know, cost of living is high. Okay, the cost of renting, you have to consider that. The cost of renting, probably you've been paying 800 before, then you want to move into a bigger space because of the kids now. You have to be looking at something like 1,002, 1,003, 1,004. And guess what? You know, it's going to affect the money you are making every month. You know, you are now deducting rent, extra rent from it. So you find out that at the end of the month, you have little or no savings, you know. And while you were coming, you were thinking that I'll be setting certain amount aside every month. I'll be sending money for my building back home. I'll be doing this. I'll be doing that. I would have acquired mansion. I would have, you know, gotten a very big car, beautiful business, you know. and you just see that, I have stayed here for more than 5 years and I've still not, you know, you are making progress. Trust me, you are making progress. Don't see it as if you're not making progress. It's just that you set an unrealistic goal. You are trapped in that unrealistic goals. Okay, so that's number three. Your spending is increasing. You'll be paying extra amount for rent because the family is now increased. You now want to have a bigger apartment, so you'll be spending more, and this money is from your pockets. Remember, you still don't have access to public funds. Okay, you don't have access to housing, you don't have access to public funds, you know, as the taxman is collecting this, you know, you are still paying for IHS, I think, immigration health surcharge. You are paying for all this, and all this money is no small money. Okay, so that is that. So I've seen couple, some people, you know, they said it's their 10th, is it 10th or 15 years anniversary, and they are immigrants. Okay, they are not settled yet, and they went to get cars, you know, on cars, and on loan. You know, there's a way you can get cars on loan here. So if they're getting a car for the family, is understandable, because vehicle, cars is, they don't see it as a luxury because it's a necessity. Okay, so you're getting a car of 15,000 or 20,000 pounds. For the husband got one, the wife got one, and you are not settled yet. Okay, you are still on a visa, and you are now on a loan. How do you want, you are paying for like 5 years, okay, to settle up that bill. So you'll be paying loan for 5 years. Like, it doesn't, who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to impress? You'll be living on debt, because you this country, they love to give you debt. Like, you continue to pay it to the end of time. They love to give you debt, but if you're not careful, you will be trapped in paying that debt all the days of your life. Because as we are moving out of this, they'll be just suggesting this to you, suggesting that to you. You keep taking, and before you know it, you keep paying debt, working and paying, no proper planning for yourself. Especially if you've got credit card, you've got loans, you have to be careful how you spend your credit card. Okay, you have to be careful how you spend your, otherwise you will be trapped paying that debt for so long. Okay, mortgage is another thing. You know, of course, to some extent I understand, if you want to get a mortgage, it's a necessity. You feel it's a necessity for you to get a mortgage. That is fine. You know, you have to have 10%. Some people will say 10% or 15% to get a mortgage. Then you do, depending on your age, you know, and the spread it, how long you'll be paying. Maybe you'll be paying for 25 years or 30 years. All these things they trap you, because you may not, at the end of the day, if you don't have proper planning, you will not have a money of your own. When you are paying debt for this, you are paying debt for that, you will not have money. You just say that you are working and you are settling those debts. You are working and you are settling those debts. Okay, so these are the ways immigrants feel trapped in the UK. You know, these are the ways they just feel trapped. Like, you see people say, I've lived here for 20 years and I don't feel like, I don't have anything back home, I don't have anything to fall on. You know, these are the ways they just feel trapped. Because, you know, the first trap I just mentioned it, and it makes sense that when you get into a country, or you don't just want to be illegal in that country, you want to be settled. So, and you keep extending your visa. It's not even now that they brought out the white paper. You know, before, depending on your route, it's 5 years for you to get settled, for you to get your ILR, indefinite leave to remain in the country. But with the white paper now, I think they're suggesting 10 years. So the first 10 years of your life, you would be working and be renewing your visa, be extending your visa. And I think the visa is between 2,000, 3,000 per head, per person. Let's say you're a family of 4, the husband, the wife, and the children, you keep paying all that money. Let's say you're paying 3,000 per person, times 5 or times 4, depending on your family size. You know how much that is. The money, if you convert that money, you know how much that is. But you just have to keep doing it, otherwise you will be in the country illegal. Okay. And then anything can happen to anybody residing in the UK as an illegally. Okay, so you don't want to be illegal. You have to keep renewing your visa. You have to keep extending your visa till you get your high HELA. And before now, it used to be 5 years, and now they are proposing 10 years. So imagining spending the first 10 years of your life getting your papers, regularizing, getting your papers, getting settled. That is just first 10 years. Then in the process of that 10 years, if you still have younger kids, you can't work the way you would love to, because your children, you have to be available for those kids. Otherwise, God forbid, we don't pray for the social worker to go to collect your kids. If you're an absentee parent, and you get reported, it's not a funny thing. You've seen a couple of videos of people coming out to cry out, oh, the government has taken their children, but the government will not just knock on your door to take your child away from you. No, there would have been a series of meetings, maybe from the child's school, series of reports from the child's school. Probably the child doesn't dress neat to school, the child is always sleeping in class, this child is not active, or they saw a bruise, or they saw something, that they warrant them to invite the social worker in, to come and investigate. And if they find that the parent is not worthy to have the child, they take the child away. So you would not want that to happen to you. That's why you have to leave some shift to attend to your kids. You leave some shift to attend to your kids. And when you are leaving your shift, you know that is, you're not making money. Okay, you are not making money, and you don't even have access to public funds. You don't have access to public funds. So you and your partner will now sit down to, if you've been to manage that little amount that's coming into the home. What are we sending back home? What are we, before you know it, you forget the plans, that, oh, I want to build mansion, because so many people believe that if you made it, if to show that you have made it in life, you have to have mansion, you have to have a good cars and all of that. No, if you sit down, though that plan that you had initially before coming down, you may not have achieved it, but truly you are making progress. You will see that you are making progress. Okay, so people feel trapped when they have younger kids. Not until when the kids are grown, they become adults, that is when you can leave them by themselves. Otherwise, you have to be there with them at all times. Okay, so number 3, I also mentioned loans, because the way this country is, they are interested in your money. That little interest you are paying in loans, in settling loans, goes a long way. All right, so that way you will see come and take this on a loan, come and do this, or you will keep paying interest, paying loans, settling debt, till God knows when. Okay, so that is another trap that immigrants go through. And the next one here, I think I've mentioned everything I have on my list. I think mortgage as well. You keep settling the debts. Okay, so if you still feel the UK is a trap, like, oh, all those things, I just believe I mentioned it earlier, that it's because once before you go here, you set a goal that wasn't realistic. You believe that money grows on trees, that you know, within 5 years. And in the real life sense, it doesn't work like that. Okay, set a realistic goal. Set goals, you know, make up your mind that once I'm getting into this country, you know, at least if I can't build mansion, I can't do this back home, at least I am making progress in my life. You know, I'm getting a job, I'm building in myself, I'm going back to school, you know, to get to acquire more degree, and to better my life, you know. Just set goals that are realistic. Don't set unrealistic goals. You're going to be disappointed at the end of the day as an immigrant. You know, if you set goals that are not realistic, you're saying 5 years. Some people say that they've been here for more than 20 years and they still can't go back to where they came from. They still can't go back to their country because they feel they have not made it yet. Okay, so just relax your mind, go with the flow. Don't force it, don't overburden yourself, don't push it too much. You know, just go with the flow, and it's take a step at a time, and you will see everything falling in place. Okay, so don't see the UK as a trap, like, oh, because I see people, you know, that's why I just made that say the UK is a trap, the UK is a trap. Of course, these are necessary spendings you have to do. It's just like a commitment. Okay, these are necessary commitments you will have to do. So that is my own 2 cents on the topic. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you feel the UK is a trap, or you feel that people just set they feel they just set unrealistic goals, the goals that seems unachievable within a certain period of time. Because even if you say you want to make it everything, you know, just 5 years, then you go back to your country, and now the government is proposing 10 years before you get settled. So you have to wait. You have to, before you can get settled, you have to wait for 10 years. So that one already nullified that your plan of 5 years. You see? So just set realistic goals for yourself. Enjoy the moment, just enjoy yourself, enjoy the moment, and don't overwork yourself. Give yourself rest. Don't work without rest. You know, do the little you can, and just pray to God to bless that little you are doing. So that is my 2 cents on the topic. Leave me a comment if you feel immigrants are being trapped in the UK with the amount of bills we pay. You know, you have to keep paying bills on everything. You pay for water bill, pay for electricity, pay for utility, pay for this and that, you know, all these kind of bills. You know, you pay, even you pay for health, your health, you pay, you know, you just keep paying for all that, you know. So that is that. If you feel immigrants have been trapped, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. But I feel because I've seen people talk about immigrants being trapped in the UK. So let me know. Leave me your comments. I am also here to learn. Let us learn from one another. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Thank you. I can see your comments. Thank you for joining me. So I'm gonna go now. I'll be leaving now. Just watch the video and drop a comment for me. Let me know your thoughts about this topic. All right, till I come your way again. See you some other time. Stay blessed. God bless you. I love you. Bye.